Good morning, and welcome to our 10th episode of Community Matters. My name is Mayor Mary Alexander Basta, and I would like to welcome you to today's episode, which is Bolingbrook Commissions. There's so many ways to get involved in our community, and serving on our commissions is one of them. You may not realize how much work goes into serving on all these commissions, so our guests today are here to share a little bit about what they do and how they became involved. Joining us today, we have Mithra Zaucha, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Great. Chair of the Arts Council. We also have Jake Mcveigh, who's one of the commissioners on Bolingbrook Community Television. Joe Gross, who is the chair of our Civic and Cultural Affairs Commission. Bill Cole, chair of the Historic Preservation Commission. And Jerry Janak, chair of Information Technology Commission. Thank you all so much for being here and welcome. I'll start by letting each of you tell us a little bit about yourselves and how you became to be involved in your respective commissions. Just for the audience, just so you guys all know, we are approximately 6 feet or more apart from each other, and so our participants will be able to remove their masks for this episode. Mithra.
Yes.
Welcome.
Hi. Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for being here.
Well, I'm Mithra Zaucha. I am the recently new chair of the Arts Council. Came on about, right in the middle of COVID, June 2020. So it was a fun time to join on to a commission, not wondering what to do. But I was on the Arts Council for about 3 years. I've always been involved in the arts since I was 3 years old. I learned piano and violin, and I also teach dance. So arts has always been a part of my life, and it's also part of my kids' life. And I'm always involved in things in the community that I'm passionate about. So I joined the Arts Council 3 years ago.
Wonderful. Thank you. Jerry, welcome.
Thank you. Good morning. I have been a resident of Bolingbrook for 46 years now. My wife and Jackie have raised 2 children in town. Both went through Valley View School District and very much invested in the community. I remember when the center of town was Boughton and Route 53. After about a 40-year career in IT, everything from programmer to a senior director, I retired and decided that I wanted to give something back to the community and leverage some of the skills that I developed over the course of my working career. So I joined the IT Commission in 2017. 3 or 4 months after that, I accepted the chair. I've chaired the commission since then. What we do, well, I won't go into what we do. I think that's another question, but that's what I'm doing today and enjoying it tremendously.
Thank you. Bill, good morning.
Hello, everybody. I'm Bill Cole. I've been a resident since 1970. I've been with this commission for about 15 years. I'd like to comment on the members of our Historic Preservation Commission. They're both old and young, male and female. We have people that can do exactly what they wish to do. There's good writers. There's what I call techies. And there's people that really get into archiving. So it's a pretty happy group. Thank you.
Thank you. Can we check audio just to make sure? And maybe our guests, some of you are soft-spoken, so you need to speak up a little bit just so those that are watching from home have a clear sound coming through. Joe, good morning.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
Thanks for being here.
I'm actually a resident of Bolingbrook for over, I tell my age now, 58 years now. I've been a member of the Civic and Cultural Affairs Commission since 1995. Been vice chair for 10 years, and then after that, I have been the chair of the commission for 6 years now. Actually got involved in the commission back in the 80s through a former trustee, and then left the commission for a few years, and then came back in 95. So I'm here, and I'm enjoying myself still.
And you're doing a great job at that. Talk about that later. Jake.
Yeah, hi, I'm Jake Mcveigh. My family's been in town since first homes were built back in '61. And my dad never left, and now I've never left, so I've been here my whole life. I have served on the Historic Preservation Commission in the past, and now I've been on BCT for about a year, and I'm filling in for our chair today, Nancy Hansen, who really wanted to be here, but unfortunately her schedule wouldn't allow it. I'm also I serve on the Board of Commissioners for the Bolingbrook Park District, so I got involved simply because I love Bolingbrook, and I really wanted to find another way to kind of give back to my community. And we'll get a little bit into my story with one of the questions later, so I'll leave it at that.
Great. Thank you all very much. We do have a couple of commissions that were not able to be here today. Our Beautification Commission chair was unable to make it. We also have our Planning Commission, Zoning Commission, which does a lot with our planning department, as well as our Police and Fire Board. Remember that you could join the conversation by texting or sending your messages in on Facebook Live. Also, this will be available for rebroadcasting on Facebook and on the Village website. You guys ready?
Yep.
Sure.
Okay, let's go. Let's take care of this. First of all, how many people work together on your commission? And I know that this is a question that varies between the various commissions. So, Bill, I'll let you start.
We have 20 commissioners, and for the last 5 years or so, there's been no change in that. In other words, no additions or subtractions. We do, however, highly welcome anybody that cares to attend our meetings or go off with us on our junkets and participate in any way in which they wish. We're very welcoming of all residents and non-residents that wish to express their involvement with history.
Great. Jerry?
We have 15 seats on the IT Commission. Just for folks, it's not IT Commission. It actually stands for Information Technology Commission. 15 seats at the moment. All of those seats are currently filled, but if anyone has an interest in the IT Commission, we would greatly like to hear from them. Guests are always welcome.
Great. Mithra?
We actually have 18 commissioners as part of the Arts Council right now out of a possible 20. So we do have 2 openings right now. And we also partner with, you don't need to also be on the commission if you want to be involved with the Arts Council. We have a lot of relationships with artists in the community, so you could also be involved that way as well.
Great. Jake?
Yeah, we on Bolingbrook Community Television, we have 20 seats available to us, and we have 15 or 16 filled right now, so there are 4 or 5 seats available at the moment.
Hey. All right. Sorry about that. Joe, you're up.
The Civic Cultural Affairs Commission, about 6 years ago, absorbed the Pathways Parade Commission, so we originally were 20, we're up to 30 people now, and presently we have 24 on our commission.
Thank you. One of the questions that we had is what qualifies a resident to be on one of our commissions? And this is something that I've spoken to the chairs about, as well as some of the commission members. First of all, you got to love Bolingbrook and really want to dedicate some time into Bolingbrook and the village. And then what is your passion? We've noticed that some people want to join a commission just for the sake of joining a commission and not necessarily engaging and being a part of the commission. So something that we've been looking at as applications get submitted here to executive offices is really looking into them and seeing what they're passionate about and where there's a need for someone who either by profession qualifies to be on a commission or by hobby. Recently, we had some additions to our Beautification Commission that were winners of some of the Beautification Awards. And, it was a good fit for them because they obviously took pride in beautifying their homes, and they had a passion when they came in to receive their awards, so therefore it just it worked. Same thing with our BCT Commission. We recently put on some new commissioners that had something of a passion in broadcasting or media or writing or just they enjoyed that type of an atmosphere, and we've had great success with that. So first and foremost is you have to love Bolingbrook and obviously be a Bolingbrook resident. How can various residents stay up to date on your commission and your commission's activities? And Joe, I'll start this one with you.
Well, we're actually pretty easy. We have our own website that we keep all of our events up to date on with either applications or information on what we're doing. You can reach us online at bbcca.org. That stands for Bolingbrook Civic Cultural Affairs. And presently, we're updating it now to switch over to our next event, which is going to start in pretty soon. It's going to be the Festival of Lights Winter Walk.
Great. Bill?
We have 2 meetings a month right here in the boardroom and hybridly on WebEx. And they happen to be at 7:15 on Monday nights, the 2nd and 4th Mondays of the month. They can always visit our museum on East Briarcliff, which is open twice a month on Saturdays. The 1st and 3rd Saturday from the 2nd and 4th Saturday from 1 to 3. Also, the village, just a small thing is we have story time at the museum, for example, which the library hosts and publishes on their information. So those are some of the ways.
Thank you. Ethra?
We also have a website, our own website, which is www.bolingbrookrartscouncil.org. We are also on Facebook and Instagram, so follow us there. And of course, we have an email that you can always contact us through, which is bolingbrookrartscouncil@gmail.com.
Wonderful. Jake?
Yeah, so ours is really easy. Anything you're watching from the village is typically BCT. So the board meetings, the planning meetings, the parade, whether it's Channel 6 on Comcast or Channel 99 UVerse on AT&T, a lot of the Facebook Lives, that's BCT. So really that's how you know what we're up to, is it's what you can see online. If you have any questions for us, of course, you can find our information on the village website and reach out to our chair, Nancy. Her information's on there.
Thank you. Last but not least, Jerry?
We have a landing page on the Village Bolingbrook website, the IT Commission landing page, information there. We also have, obviously, we would have our own website as well, www.vobitc.org. We have an email address available if you have any interest. Again, VOBITC, Village of Bolingbrook, Information Technology Commission at vobitc.org. Additionally, we partner with the Fountaindale Library for some events, so events that we're sponsoring in cooperation with the library will be in their catalog and on their website. We also do some events where we work with the Valley View School District. When we've got an event where we're working with one of the schools, information on that is also available through the Valley View School District website as well.
Wonderful. And that actually leads me into my next question is, do any of the commissions that are currently here today have involvement with either other businesses or other organizations in town? Bill, do you have any that?
We partner, as I mentioned a minute ago, thank you, Mayor, with the library for something called Story Time, in which families with kids ages 2 to 6 come to the museum twice a month, and the library publishes those days. And I'm at a loss to think of other partnerships that we have, although we certainly host recently the Veterans Group, and we're thinking of feeding the firemen. So we partner with organizations like those.
Interesting, feeding the firemen. Joe, do you cohabitate with any other organizations or businesses in town?
Actually, we're very dependent on a lot of organizations and nonprofits in town. It helps us to put on our events. Most of our events are pretty labor intensive, so we just don't have enough, even with 24 people, to get everything accomplished to put on our events. So we work with different organizations and nonprofits to help them out and let them help us out.
Wonderful. Jake?
Yeah, we work with a lot of different organizations. The Chamber of Commerce here in town, we film ribbon cuttings, the Best of Bolingbrook Business Awards, State of the Village Address, the Park District in the Village Wednesday night concerts, and then any organization that rents out our beautiful Performing Arts Center in the back of Village Hall here. They have the option to work with us as well. So we've done the El Grito celebration that was recently. We've worked with the Association of Pakistani Americans of Bolingbrook, and really that list it goes on and on.
Mithra?
Yes, we are working with a couple organizations, specifically the Promenade. We are working with them with one of our projects called Art in the Windows exhibit, as well as we had some painting of hydrants there as a public art project, and a few other projects pre-COVID. Businesses, we just recently worked with a few businesses in the area for our parade giveaway. We worked with the golf club, with Ashbury's Tailgaters and Two Pines to offer a partnership coupon, and more in the works with the schools, library, Park District, and hopefully more businesses and community organizations.
Thank you. Bill, we talked about the museum, and I know when I first moved in, I didn't know we had a museum, much less know where it's located. Can you tell us a little bit about, first of all, where is it? How can residents come tour it? And what are they expected to see when they show up at the museum?
Thank you, Mayor. We're at 444 East Briarcliff. It's a white building that's set back from the street. It's a wonderful neighborhood for starters. Very smooth neighborhood, if you will. The museum itself is kind of enticing. One of the main features are the jail cells in the basement that families and kids seem to really enjoy. We have various motifs or themes throughout the building. And, for example, Old Chicago's featured, Route 66 has an area, schools, the mayoral and village clerk offices of the past. I could go on and on. One of the nice things is we've recently rehabbed the 2.5-car garage, which we're renaming the Museum Annex. And in another month or two, when that job is completed, we hope to not only exhibit additional artifacts and documents, but host various groups' events. And we welcome any groups in town to utilize these buildings. Also, right now, scouts are utilizing the area, for example. So thank you. That's pretty much it.
I'm very excited to see the expansion and how that plays out. This was a project that we worked on for some time. I think it was one of my initial projects when I took office, so I'm excited for that one. Look forward to seeing it. Thank you. Civic and Cultural Affairs. Joe, I know we're just wrapping up all the events that you do, but I think many residents might not exactly know what those events are that we have to offer. Can you just run through them fairly quickly?
Sure. Our first one of the year is always the Village Picnic, which is always the last Sunday in June. The Village Picnic is there to give organizations, nonprofits, church groups, different groups like that to a place to let the residents of Bolingbrook know what they offer them and what's available to them in our area. Second event we put on is the 3-day Jubilee event. Happens in August, generally the third weekend of August. And of course, I think we all know what that is, with the bands in the back, food vendors, kids games, all kinds of different activities for everyone to enjoy. Then our third event, which we just wrapped up, was the Pathways Parade and Pathfest, which we use is actually for celebrating the village's birthday or incorporation, however you would like to look at that. And then our final event of the year is coming up in December. It's the first weekend in December. Starts off. It's going to be our Festival of Lights Winter Walk again. We had it last year. It was so successful. We're going to bring it back this year.
Thank you. And you guys just put together. I threw the commission for a little bit of a loop. Well, I didn't personally do it, kind of. The culvert was out, so we had to change the path of the parade, which caused it to be slightly longer on an extremely hot day. But we did promote floats this year, and I think everyone did a great job, those that participated, and I look forward to that growing. Joe, do you hear that growing next year? Thank you. Information technology. Jerry, you guys, speaking of that parade, you were handing out something at the parade, and it had something to do with a scavenger hunt that the IT Commission is doing. Can you tell us a little bit about that and how people can get involved?
Absolutely, absolutely. What we're trying to do is we're trying to encourage the residents of the community to visit the village website to see what there is available there. It's a great source of information. And also to get some feedback from the residents as to what they think of the website and how we might be able to improve it over time. So to make that fun, we decided that we would hold a virtual scavenger hunt. What we've done, and we used the parade to kick off that event, you can go out to the website. There's one of two ways. We did pass out some flyers with the QR code so that you could do it on your cell phone. We got very good response Sunday right after the parade, folks going out and competing. There are about 5 or 6 questions about Village of Bolingbrook that you can find the answers to on the website. So if you go out to our website, vobitc.org, events, you will see the rules and you will see the form for the questions. The contest is going to run through the 30th of September, and if you get all the answers right, you'll be entered in a drawing for a $200 Best Buy gift card. If you get at least one answer right, you'll be entered into a drawing for one of 5 $100 Best Buy cards. So please go out to the website and play the game and let us know what you think and take a chance of possibly winning a gift.
That's pretty exciting. Gift cards right before Christmas. Can I qualify for that?
No.
All the fun out.
You can play, though. We would like you to play. You just can't win.
What's the fun in that?
Oh, test your knowledge of Bolingbrook.
You're right,
You
you're
can find
right.
it on the website.
Yes, okay. Mithra,
Yes.
Bolingbrook is home to a lot of public artwork on display. How can residents and visitors find these locations and enjoy them?
Well, Jerry was just talking about their scavenger hunt. We also did a scavenger hunt back in June. We launched it. It's a public art scavenger hunt. And you may or may not know that there are many pieces of public art within the community. And so we went around and placed all of those pieces on a Google map. And you are still able to go through our website, bolingbrookrartscouncil.org, and find all these pieces of public art. The scavenger hunt is that you go and find these. We have a form that has different questions about the piece of art, and see if you can answer the questions. Back in June, we had a contest as well, and if you completed the form with all the questions, we also did some gift cards. We had some great participation, lots of great feedback. A lot of people didn't know that there were all these pieces of public art around our community. And also in times of COVID, it's great to be outside. And so we wanted to do a nice family activity, or not even a family, just an outdoor activity to go venture out into our community, see the different pieces of art, and see if so we had a few people win gift cards, and the grand prize winner was a $250 Visa gift card. So, yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Yes, and then you had something at the promenade also last summer, was it? Time flies.
The painting of the hydrants. So like I said, I came in right in the middle of 2020, COVID, and so not knowing really what to do. Everything had to kind of be outside, possibly. We didn't know. So public art, this was a way to, turn the negative into positive and launch, the whole viewing of public art. And so we partnered with the Promenade as well as the Illinois American Water and the fire department. and able to have some of the hydrants at the promenade decorated or painted by local artists. We have 10 different hydrants around the promenade that you can go see, and it's also on our public art scavenger hunt. So that was a fun time.
That was a great event, and some of the artists were just amazing. Like to see what they had on paper and then how it transitioned onto the fire hydrant was fun to watch. Thank you, Jake. Does BCT currently have any shows or programming?
Yeah, aside from what we cover, which would be all the board meetings, concerts, anything like that, we also have some of our own programming. Some of it has been around for a while, like Bridging the Gap, that used to be hosted by Leroy Brown, that Mike Lawler took over. For the love of animals, we partner with the Humane Haven to help animals, find forever homes. In the past, we've worked with the Historic Preservation Commission as well, and we hope to get that up and running again soon to have a show just based on the history of Bolingbrook called Historically Speaking. One of our current shows that we're currently filming, season 2 of, is called Bolingbrook's Buzz, and this was an idea of Mayor Mary here. So we go out into the community and we meet with local business owners, and we just kind of highlight what they have to offer, what they're bringing to the community, what their story is. And this came around last year when everything was shut down as an idea to help spread awareness of everything we have to offer here in town and help these businesses out. And it was a lot of fun. We really enjoyed it, so we want to keep it going.
I know you and Marissa have been doing a great job with that. It looks like you're actually having fun.
We're having a blast. I got a haircut a couple weeks ago at one of the barbershops in town. Yeah, we have a blast.
Yeah, you're doing an amazing job, and thank you for taking that project on. We appreciate it.
I got to cook catfish yesterday, all kinds of stuff.
Look at this. See, commissioners do have a good time.
Yeah.
Do you guys think that it is important that we have these commissions within our village? Is it worth it? Is it worth all the effort and the time that you put in? Does it add value to Bolingbrook? And whoever wants to take this one on, go for it.
Just 2 words come to mind: community spirit. You're giving and taking. You're participating. It's wonderful.
Great.
That was more than 2 words, sorry.
That's all right. We'll take it.
I think also the commissions act as a conduit between the residents of the community and village government. You've got folks in government that get caught up in the day-to-day running of the village and the operation of everything that needs to happen. You've got folks out here that have been part of the village but not actively participating in something because they've got kids in school, T-ball, and all the things that go on through life. The commissions can act as a conduit between the community and the village to help convey some of the likes, dislikes, concerns, interests that the rest of the residents have. I know that when we do the village picnic, for example, and when the IT Commission has their tent, we get a lot of folks coming in. We get a lot of information from the community that you may not ordinarily get that we can then pass along. So I think that all the commissions serve to enhance what the village presents to the citizens and gives the citizens a chance to see the village in action.
Wonderful. Thank you. Anyone else?
Yeah, I think it's important simply because we all have one thing in common here. It's that we love Bolingbrook, and if we want to keep this a place that residents long-term continue to love, we, as the residents, need to get involved, bring our ideas, really keep it the great village that it is now.
Thank you. Anyone else?
Well, I think that it just gives an opportunity for residents to be involved and to share their talents, their skills, their ideas. We got such a great diverse community, and the diverse ideas can come through the commissions.
Great. Thank you. Joe, this one is specifically for you. How is the entertainment for these events selected, and how can interested bands submit to be considered?
Probably the number one question I'm ever asked all the time. It's actually really easy. All you have to do is submit their information to me. We have an email address you can send it to. Things that I'm looking for are videos, live videos showing how they perform, what they sound like, websites, Facebook pages, links to anything that gives us an idea of what bands interest you and what they're like, so that we can review them and see if they're a good fit for the Jubilee, for Pathfest, for any event where we're looking for musicians. You can send that info to info@bbcca.org. That's info@bbcca.org. And we'd love to see them. I must review hundreds and hundreds of them myself, along with other commissioners, to get an idea of what fits where.
Great, thank you. So if anyone's interested or has a local band, I'm sure Joe would be welcome to checking that out and seeing how it fits into our venue and entertainment. Bill, you have an event coming up for Halloween. You tell us a little bit about that one?
We do. Thank you, Mayor. We have two events. One is on Saturday, October 23rd at the museum. It's from 1 to 3. And if kids and families arrive in costumes, we'll have wrapped treats for them, as well as the museum tours and any other fun activities that the commissioners can think of. And then secondly, excuse me, at Halloween every year, we open up Boardman Cemetery. This year we're changing to the hours of 1 to 4. There'll be treats. There'll be talking about the settlers and the pioneer stories. There'll be Native American flute circle, adding to the ambience. And a person comes with a divining rod. And we think of those as, maybe that's the term used to find water. In this case, you're supposed to be able to find where grave sites that are unmarked are. Hocus pocus or not, I'm not sure, but it adds to the fun. So thank you.
What are you going to be doing in the jailhouse? Is that going to be decorated?
The jail in the basement of the museum won't be decorated.
I think it's scary enough just to be in that old jail.
Yes, it has a cot. It's very Spartan. Families love to take pictures of their members through the door of the cell. And the story goes that there are two cells. One's first class and one's coach. And that's what they called them back in the day. One was a little larger. And they'd only keep the miscreants, the bad guy, overnight because they didn't want to keep feeding them. And then they'd ship them over to Will County Jail. So thank you.
We only enjoy visiting the jails when we're doing exactly that, visiting the jails with our own free will on our own time, right? Thank you so much. Jerry, I know you and I have talked about this several times, but tell us a little bit about the talent and the years that are involved with all the commissioners, all the experience that the commissioners hold on IT.
Sure, absolutely. Because of the nature of what we do, it requires a certain amount of knowledge or expertise in the specific area of information technology engineering. The 15 members on the commission, all of these folks are either working professionals in the IT arena, or like me, a couple of us are retired and are doing this because we want to keep our hand in the business and we want to give back to the community. We have a broad range of experience, from programmers through testing, through project leaders, senior developers, architects, cybersecurity experts, and networking experts. So we have a broad base of experience. As I tell Mayor Mary, just to convey the value that I feel that the commission has and what some of the things we might be able to do. If you were to take this 15-person crew and put them out on the street at the going rates for their talents, it would cost you somewhere between $1.5 million and $2 million a year.
Wow, it's huge. All right here in Bolingbrook, volunteering.
All volunteering, looking to take their talents and their time and give back to the community that they're so proud of.
And this is part of, so the IT Commission works hand in hand with our CIO, James Farrell, and I don't even know how you keep up with things. I was introduced to something just last week in a meeting, and I'm sure many others have used it for a long time, but it's a plastic business card, and it's called a smart card. And that smart card, instead of us handing out these paper business cards, and you just scan this plastic card that looks like a credit card, and you scan it, and the contacts automatically go into the person's phone who's scanning it. I just thought that was like amazing, because I get these business cards everywhere I go, And it's a lot. And then what do you do with them? You have to put them in, and you have to, and this is just scan. So that was just, I'm waiting. Hint, hint, James, if you're watching. I'm waiting to see our IT go into smart cards for all of us. But
We have a saying that you never want to be called an expert in any one area, because if they say you're an expert, you're already out of date.
sure, of course. Well, I definitely will not call myself an expert in the IT field because I'm way behind. But I do look forward to all that the IT Commission is working on and some of the current projects that you are proposing to help ease, if you will, communication between the village and our residents. And I know you guys are working diligently on that, as well as providing some activities for students to maybe engage a little bit more. Something that I found is students don't know what they don't know. So you talk to them about IT or computers, well, they know a phone, but now you start getting into programming and robotics and all that fun stuff, then it piques their interest and it makes them more engaged and possibly opens to their eyes to what could be a future in IT.
Absolutely. Before the pre-COVID days, when we were able to do live in-house events, we worked with a number of different schools in the school district on STEM events, and what we did was interesting. You see so many children and their parents, they may understand how to use an application, how to play a game or something, but when you take a computer and blow it up and put the parts all out and explain to them that this is how this works and this is what this does and everything else, they're amazed. They have no basic understanding. We've gotten a lot of feedback and a lot of interest from families, parents, and even teachers who said, oh, I never knew that. That's really interesting. That's what we're hoping to do, is help get children interested in science and technology, because in the IT industry in particular, there's tremendous opportunity and there's a lot of shortages in a lot of areas for skills across the board. So as children are coming through school, high school, college, there's plenty of opportunities, and one of the things we'd like to talk about with you is some of the things that you have of interest in working with some of the high school kids, mentoring some of the high school students and helping them pick a direction that might be in the technology arena.
Wonderful. I'm very passionate about engaging our youth and help guiding them into their future. So I would definitely welcome the opportunity to do that and even host some events at our community center. I know schools are a little bit limited now with COVID, but utilizing the locations that we have currently and promoting those. Same thing with the arts. So I'm an artist, and I know that in the past, when I thought of the word art, I thought of drawing, but art encompasses much more than that. Share with us what all is included in the arts, and then if I have a talent or a desire to join you as a volunteer or to display some of my talents, how can I do that through your commission?
Yeah, the Arts Council, it could be a difficult commission because of the vast array of arts. I mean, many people do think of visual arts when you hear arts. So painting, drawing, but the visual arts can go into like sculpture, right? And also even like tattoo artists, film, that is all visual art. But then there's also performance arts, which goes into music, dance, theater, comedy even. Then there's literary arts, all the poets, the authors, playwrights, that can be all encompassed in the literary arts. And then there's the fine artisans, right, like woodworkers and glass makers. And so, I mean, there's such a wide variety of arts. And so it is hard to be able to represent everything on our council. You know, we do have we have graphic artists, we have visual artists. I'm a musician and dancer. We have art enthusiasts. We have an actor. But that's the challenge of the arts, right? But as we have seen, the arts is so important. I don't think anyone has really gotten through these difficult times without turning to the arts. Whether it be watching some movies or listening to music or reading a great book or poems or anything like that. It really shapes our life into, gives us the happiness. So arts is really important. If you would like to be a part of it, we do have, like I said, you can join our council. We do have some openings. We also partner with any artists that would like to volunteer, or even just to kind of just guide us on different, in different areas, working artists. But then also artists, visual artists can show some of their work at the Art in the Windows exhibit that we are partnering with the Promenade. Right now, we changed a few locations, but some of the stores that are not filled right now, we've been able to utilize them by showing it's an outdoor, it's a windows exhibit, right? It's an art gallery that you can walk and look at from the outside and see the different arts that are visible from some of our residents. So they can definitely come on to our website. We have a form if you're interested in having some of your art displayed. We are also creating an artist and creatives directory, so that hopefully we'll be able to have a directory that people can go to if they're interested in some kind of art.
Wonderful, thank you. Here's what I would like to see now that the commissioners or the commissions have met each other. I would like to see how we can work together and offset each other and highlight each other more. Like, I know the Arts Council can work with Beautification, and then if they have an event, BCT can highlight it, or Civic Cultural Affairs needs an opening act for a big band, so maybe the arts, the students, or IT can help promote the museum. However way we can work together collectively to enhance the commissions that we currently have by cross-utilizing each other. So that's something that I would like to see happen more of, instead of us each just working in our own little segment and being focused on that. So that is my challenge to you. But you didn't know you were going to have a challenge when you came in this morning, right? But thank you again for being here and joining us and educating our residents on your commissions and what you do, and sharing more information with them. Does anyone have any closing comments before we wrap it up? Anything? Go ahead, Bill.
Could I put in a 1-second commercial? People in town might wonder what's historical about Bolingbrook. I'm just going to rattle off some names quickly. Route 66, Barber's Corners, Old Chicago, Scott's Settlement, Old Hickory School and Church, the 2 historic cemeteries here in town, Native American mounds. So you can tell I'm trying to get you excited about the history that we have. Thank you.
We do. Even though we're very young, we do have great history, which is very interesting. And again, when I toured the museum, there were some things that were wows to me. So I'm sure that residents would enjoy seeing that as well. Thank you again for being here. For those of you at home, thank you so much for joining us for this episode of Community Matters. We also have some staff and guests in the audience, so thank you for taking the time to join us today. This episode will be available for rebroadcast on Facebook, Bolingbrook website, and Bolingbrook Community Television. Thank you again for watching. We'll see you next time, and be safe. Have a good rest of the week.